I think I like Fungus just because he's just so anti-human, not against humans, but he's just so the opposite end, and yet he has got the same traits and suffers the same things as humans do. You know, it's going through like a midlife crisis and trying to bring the money in for his family, but questioning what he's doing, getting that point in life when he's not sure if what he's doing is right or why he's doing it. And I think that is a lovely, for an actor, that's a great character to try and, you know, get your mind around, making it believable, making it three-dimensional, but still having that sort of cartoon edge. And the fact he's a creature, you know, he looks different. So you've got the challenge of that. The fact you have to bring a human quality to it, but make him move and sound and behave like something from another world, really. And I always loved that. That's why I love doing this kind of work. I'm going to show you some walks. First of all, I'll show you the walk for Fungus. So it's a low centre of gravity, legs slightly apart, bent knees, hip forward, and a slight rock. To get the performance of Fungus is quite a complex technique. We have to use a thing called motion capture. To do that, you have to wear a very, very silly outfit, which you must not be embarrassed about being seen in public. And it's covered in these reflective balls in various places on your body. Then you have these special cameras around you. We had 16 of these special cameras, and they are capturing the movement of these silver reflective balls and bouncing the light back to them. And that information goes into the computer, and what it does is it makes a skeleton of a character. And that skeleton that is made from your movement is then applied to the fungus model, which has been created in the computer as well. So the skeleton then goes inside of that. So your movement then moves that. It becomes Fungus's skeleton. So we have to find a way of moving to make sure that the way we move works with his body, because his body is a very, very different shape. So it took a lot of work and quite a bit of rehearsal, and we all worked trying to find different ways of moving, different ways of walking, and finding the different characteristics about each bogeyman. And when they move, that even their insides are quite liquefied. So you get a move. When you move, you get a sense of something moving around in there. And it was lovely to see Todd, one of the other actors, his character especially, you know, that he really got that sense of when he walked, as that there was this big lump of fluid inside of him, moving from side to side. I've done a lot of different kind of physical performing before bodysuit work, where you're inside of something, either with the head as part of your head, or inside of something where you're puppeteering the head with your head. I also do puppeteering, straightforward hand puppeteering, animatronic puppeteering, where you're using controls to control a face. And then we have motion capture, which we used on Fungus. Although they're all different and require a different approach and a different way of thinking, essentially they're the same, because they all are about body language. What we do, how we physically change ourselves when we're in a certain emotion. You do the same with a hand puppet. You know, you do the same how you use the hand to get sadness. It's the same you'll do with mask work or motion capture. It's the same sort of thing. You have to know what you're doing with your body, what that is portraying. We're used to looking at humans, so we're used to seeing expression. But at a distance, you may not see that, so you have to represent that physically. And you would do that, it doesn't matter whether you're in a bodysuit, it's motion capture or a puppet. You're using the same the same language. If we wanted Fungus, if you wanted to see him actually handling objects in the real world, up in the dry cleaners world, we had prosthetic hands made. They were made from silicon, because silicon has a very good quality to it. Unlike rubber, it has a much more skin-like quality. So we had a hand made with 6 fingers, and I had a top made as well, Fungus's top. So if I had to go into a drawer and pick a sock out or pick anything up, and you wanted to see a close-up of that hand doing it, then we could do it that way. So it didn't have to be made in CGI. It gets much harder when you get really in close to have to do that kind of stuff and replicate it. And it saved an awful lot of time. But also we might see a real hand going for something, but it's actually a CGI body in front of it. We did that, I think, for the socks, and also we did it when Fungus goes into the dishwasher and does that and puts the snot all over the plates. And that was the same. It was a real hand to pull it down, and they placed the CGI body in front of mine because I was there, of course. So they placed CGI Fungus in front of the real hand. It was very useful, having 6 fingers. The facial animation was exactly that. Of course, we couldn't capture our faces when we did the motion capture, so all the facial animation had to be done afterwards. So all the animators took what we'd done, and then they applied frame by frame, as you do with CG animation or any animation, the different expressions and the lip sync. So all the facial work, of course, had to be done after we finished, and a fantastic job they did too. And what it enabled us to do is come up with ideas like, instead of kissing, that we actually locked tongues. And the great thing about CGI and animation is that you can do that kind of thing. We might have had a bit of trouble if we tried to do it for real. So all that you see, all the performance is as much to do with what the animators did as what I did. Yes, I give the body performance and the voice, but in the end it comes down to the animators and how they make you look up here. I love the scene where Fungus has just been told that mold has gone missing. The map's gone, and they all panic and rush outside the house. Oh no! We're all going to end up in prison for letting a dry cleaner into bogeydom. Fungus is panicking backwards and forwards, and what's going on, and in the meantime, his wife is taking over and saying, "Okay, you do that way, you do that," and he's the one left.
Go that way, and I'll go this way.
It was just fun to do because I think we were all together. It was a nice bit of sort of comedy moment, a bit of physical humour as well. I do think I have got the best job in the world. It's so much fun. I mean, yes, it's hard work, but it's fun. If anyone is mad enough to want to do the same job, you'd have to be mad, because you've got to be mad to want to do it. There's lots of different ways into it. Very often, many of us have come via straight acting. We were actors before we did physical theatre or puppetry. So if you can, there's several ways you can go about it. Some people might want to go to drama school because it's all about acting in the end. It doesn't matter whether it's physical or it's, if it's straight acting, it's still acting. You still have to portray a character. So going to drama school is a good move. It's not always the right move for some people. I actually didn't go to drama school. I went through National Youth Theatre, and then did lots of courses. Did courses on mime, courses on mask work, courses on puppetry. And it was only really through doing those courses that I kind of started to drift into doing mask and mime work. The other thing is dance as well. Doing dance classes is always very beneficial because it's all about your body, especially if we want to do physical type performance. And study animation, study comedians, just study the way they perform, study body language, just watch as much as possible. If you love watching cartoons, if you love watching puppetry, if you think, "Oh, well, that looks really interesting," it might be trying to tell you something.